Also in Tarrant County, a plea to drivers to be cautious. Law enforcement officials say the number of traffic deaths alarming, so much that it's prompted a new safety initiative with the hopes of making the roads a lot less dangerous. Our Bracela Holguin tonight with more.
Our driving habits as a community are getting worse.
This weekend, DPS added 10 troopers at hotspots around Tarrant County. It's part of a new initiative among multiple agencies called Operation Safe City, Dangerous Roads.
We need people to slow down. And those chuckleheads that decide to drive recklessly, those chuckleheads that decide to drive DWI or commit road rage, we're going to be there. And we're going to bring the full force of the law to bring you to justice.
Officials say the number of traffic deaths in the county is one of the highest in the country.
Too often our officers have to make these gut-wrenching notifications to families that their loved ones have died in a crash.
Records show that since the end of September, there have been more than 150 traffic deaths in unincorporated Tarrant County. That's compared to 205 last year. The department said statistically the county is on track to report 234 fatalities in 2025.
And far too many of those deaths are preventable.
Just this weekend, while Fort Worth Fire responded to a crash on the 287 interchange, a driver crashed into their engine. Officials say the crash happened just seconds after the last firefighter got off. The two people inside the truck were trapped and had to be extricated, but survived.
Every single one of us controls the vehicle we're driving, the speeds we go, and the behaviors we exhibit, both in our vehicle and towards each other. And I'm going to ask everyone to please do their part to save these lives.
In Tarrant County, Bracela Holguin, CBS News Texas.
To the government shutdown now. It is now on track to become shortly the longest in history. That would happen tomorrow night. And even though the Senate is in session, there are no scheduled votes right now that would end this stalemate. Today, however, we did get some news. Trump administration says it will partially fund SNAP benefits this month, but there are questions as to how long even half of the benefits could eventually take to actually distribute. North Texas nonprofits, meantime, and others are doing what they can to help fill in the gaps. Here's our Bo Evans.
Hello, Valerie. How are you? It's lovely to see you.
What looks like a meeting between a few friends is something more.
So Valerie, I met 5 or 6 years ago through St. Vincent de Paul. She is a lovely person. She called us when she needed help with an electricity bill, and we brought some food.
G. Chella is a volunteer with St. Vincent de Paul, a nonprofit in Dallas. Today, she's bringing a few boxes of food to Valerie Smith.
Sometimes, the money just doesn't stretch.
Smith relies on Social Security disability for money, but it can be hard to make it through the month with just that. So she relies on SNAP benefits to help with groceries.
Now with the shutdown, not knowing if we're gonna get any benefits from SNAP, it's kind of hard.
Because of the politics that's involved, regardless of where you fall on the spectrum, we have lives that are at risk. As I mentioned earlier, 450,000 people just in the Dallas-Fort Worth area that are absolutely critically reliant on SNAP benefits, on food stamps.
Luis Gonzalez is the CEO of St. Vincent de Paul. He and volunteers like Chella are working to distribute food to those in need.
But I know for our neighbors right now, it's very scary because they don't know what the solution is.
It takes a lot of courage for somebody to raise their hand and say, I need help. Nobody wants to feel like they can't take care of themselves. So we're very blessed that we're in a part of an organization that what we try to do is affirm people for the fact that, hey, you did reach out, and we're going to try and do what we can to assist you.
In Dallas, Bo Evans, CBS News, Texas.
Weeks ago, a jury convicted a Frisco Uber driver of sexually assaulting a 12-year-old girl. Tonight, her mother is speaking out. You're going to hear from her. Our I-Team's Ginger Allen digging into the new questions about how rideshare companies even track and report assaults. Ginger, tell us more.
So, Doug, what we found goes beyond one driver and beyond one company. Federal auditors say rideshare data on assaults is incomplete, and without consistent reporting, the true scope is unclear.
Like my heart just sunk.
This mom's voice breaks as she remembers the moment she learned an Uber driver sexually assaulted her then 12-year-old.
You don't ever wish this on your child.
To protect her child's privacy, she's not showing her face. But she had no problem showing it 2 weeks ago at the Collin County Courthouse, where both she and her daughter testified against Robert Johnson III.
The reason she's testifying is she doesn't want this to happen to anyone else.
The young girl was being treated for anxiety at a pediatric mental health facility in Frisco that used Uber Health to arrange rides.
I thought it was safe.
The 33-year-old driver was supposed to take her straight home, but instead, she told the jury he pulled over 2 different times, stopping the car in 2 different parking lots to assault her.
She was worried. He knew where we lived.
Arrested and then released, Johnson cut off his ankle monitor and disappeared. Collin County put out this Be on the Lookout bulletin. And 6 months later, he was arrested again at a McDonald's in Houston following a shootout with officers. Uber Health coordinates rides to and from medical appointments, but Uber's own policy states that minors are not allowed to ride alone.
Why did they have the policy?
Attorney Robert Greening represents the family.
We allege they had the policy because of all the statistics that they themselves have acknowledged and published.
While a recent New York Times investigation claims sealed court documents show Uber received more than 400,000 complaints of sexual assault or misconduct in the U.S. between 2017 and 2022.
That's an average of 1 every 8 minutes.
According to its own most recent safety report, in that same period, Uber reported 12,522 sexual assaults. Rideshare company Lyft reported 6,809. Together, that's nearly 20,000 over the 6 years. But both companies state these incidents represent a fraction, less than 0.0001% of their total trips.
I'd say 1 sexual assault is too many.
But federal auditors say these numbers do not tell the full story. Last year, this Government Accountability Office report raised questions about just how many assaults there have been, calling out rideshare services for underreporting of incident details and underreporting of assaults. Federal auditors wrote the company's data are limited to what is reported by them, by drivers and passengers. The report also questions 6 federal databases, stating the rideshare statistics are not complete and do not describe the extent of assaults. Simply put, the exact number of incidents is unknown.
It's a major gap in the public's understanding of whether or not these apps are safe to utilize.
Colorado State Representative Jenny Wolford introduced a rideshare safety bill last year, which would require annual reports of everything from assaults to accidents, as well as more driver background checks and video recordings of rides. To her, this is personal.
I was sexually assaulted by a rideshare driver in view of my home where my husband and my 2 children were sleeping, and it changed my life forever.
With strong opposition from Lyft and Uber threatening to leave the state, the Colorado governor vetoed their bill. In a letter, he stated, "While I appreciate the sponsor's intent to ensure safety and believe we should take further steps, I want to make sure that Uber, Lyft, and others will be able to continue to operate in Colorado."
You're telling your story and hoping that by using your platform, something's going to change. And then, for big tech to continue to just win it's devastating. It's definitely a David and Goliath battle.
A battle the Collin County mom understands. She's headed back to court again, this time for a civil suit she hopes will continue alerting riders and regulators to the risk.
I should have did more research. It turned out to be a nightmare.
I tried to reach Johnson for comment by handing his family a note while he was in the courtroom, but I have not received a response. As a direct result of this Texas incident we just told you about, Uber tells me the company has taken additional steps to ensure minors on Uber Health rides are accompanied by adults. And it has created new safety buttons on the app for riders, and I've put all of that information on our website. Neither Uber nor Lyft would talk on camera, but they both sent us very similar statements saying one incident is too many. We're always working to improve our safety measures, and 99% of trips happen without any safety-related reports.
Eye-opening to say the least. Ginger, what did Uber say, if anything, about that major discrepancy between its sexual assault statistics and also the New York Times findings?
Uber said the New York Times, that's that 400,000 number, included less serious claims. So complaints about appearance, comments, staring, leering, etc. Uber told me those are not included in their numbers, Doug.
And what did you learn, if anything, that rideshare riders may be able to do proactively to better stay safe?
Right. We've got some good tips for you. Verify the license plate, the driver name, and the photo before you get in the car. Share your trip in real time with a friend or a family member. Sit in the back seat and listen to this. The best place to sit, behind the driver. That's the safest spot. If something doesn't feel right in that ride, immediately and report it. Uber and Lyft have emergency buttons on their apps that connect riders directly to 911. And then there are some new options, Doug, allowing women to request female drivers, if that makes you feel more comfortable.
The Trump administration is providing $24 million in emergency assistance to the countries that were hit by Hurricane Melissa, and about half of that money will go to Jamaica. Officials there are rebuilding after the Category 5 storm hit the island last week, which killed at least 32 people. Now, this morning, there is a Frisco couple that is back at home after weathering the storm on that island.
Olympia Michelle Freeman and her husband are sharing their story of survival with our Marvin Hurst. And it's a story that you'll only see here on CBS News Texas.
David and Michelle Freeman went to Jamaica for a work retreat trip. The couple returned to Frisco as survivors.
We were going against her.
When Hurricane Melissa hit, the track Olympian and her husband were inside of a movie theater that was now a shelter, forced out of their resort.
Imagine this pressure type feeling, as far as almost like air being taken out of the room and eerie silence. But at the same time, the noise that you hear is almost like a woo, 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 woo sound.
These are images from their cell phone inside of that shelter. David says he heard people crying and yelling, so he used music to fill his time and faith.
I kept on referencing back to like just listening to the song over and over, Firm Foundation, and the words actually say, rain came, wind blew, my house is built on you. I'm safe with you. I know I'm going to make it through.
Strong and frightening, Melissa's volume would not be denied.
You could hear her, fighting the building. She ripped off the solar panels. You could hear that being ripped apart. You could, hear glass breaking. You can feel the rumbles.
After the storm, the couple and hundreds of others walked out of that movie theater into the sunshine and destruction. At their resort, damage everywhere. Balconies ripped off, on the ground, signs toppled. Communication was spotty with their family and friends.
You're talking about 3 days of internet or communication, maybe up to 10 to 20 minutes a day.
By Monday night, they were on American soil.
It's just, we had so much of what now, what if going on leading up to that. It was almost like anticipating, I don't know, something's wrong with the engine, or it's going to be some type of fault of us not being able to get to where we need to go. Yeah.
Bearing the shock of survival, but finally, at home.
So grateful for that.
In Frisco, Marvin Hurst, CBS News Texas.
Well, it is a sad day here at the Star in Frisco. Marshawn Kneeland tragically passed away at just the age of 24, and we've been here talking to some Cowboys fans, and all of them are still shocked at this news. Now, while we were going around talking to some of these folks, many of them had not even heard the news yet. One family we talked to off camera was here for a tour of the facility, but found out it got canceled because of this tragedy. All of the fans here in Frisco say that in times like this, it's important to remember the players are human just like us. And for some, this tragedy hits home.
It's heartbreaking, man. It's, you know, mental illness is a real thing, and it needs treatment. You know, finding out how it happened and what happened, it just brings back some feelings and emotions from my younger brother who took his life in a similar fashion.
It's tragedy. I mean, when you hear something like that happen, you just want to sit back and think about life, you know? You think about what we could have done to help, you know, to prevent that.
All the more reason we need to pull together as a Cowboys family and nation and root for the team and support his family as best we can.
They, along with Cowboys Nation, are mourning someone who was lost far too soon. Reporting at the Star in Frisco, Johnny Resendez, CBS Sports Texas.
Thank you, Johnny. Now, if you or someone you know is struggling, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is 988. It's available 24 hours a day.